Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336 670 3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ben from Benjamin Broadcasting. I'm up here in the booth tonight, broadcasting Friday Night Lights Truck Series from Atlanta Motor Speedway tonight. It is the new Atlanta. It's basically a super speedway track now, but it races different than Talladega and Daytona. It has you just have to lift the throttle a little in the corners. You can't flat foot it. Maybe a little bit of braking. This track is 1.54 miles long. When it originally built, it was 1.52 miles. So they've added in 2/100ths of a mile. It's a fast track. It's a high draft dependent track. But what do you say we get a gentleman up here in the booth? Let's bring in Mr. Greg Spiker here in a second. Once I get it fixed. And here he is. Mr. Greg Spiker, do you got a copy?
Hey Ben, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Last night we ran a practice race here, 40 laps shorter than tonight, and you led most of the race. How was the racing last night?
I think the racing was very intense. Had a lot of great teammates behind me, including yourself in that practice race, helping keep me up there in the front. But the judgment on the fuel was a little bit off on my part, and ended up running out of fuel on turn 3 on the last lap. So I guess I didn't live up to my initials of GAS, huh?
No, not last night, but tonight, are you going to remember to put gas in?
Yes, sir. We had a good discussion with the crew chief, and we are going to make sure we got lots of gas in there. You know, we're running in this league with after 3 races, we're sitting in 5th place in the season standings.
All right. So tonight you're not going to hear.
Ain't got no gas in it.
I sure hope not. I sure hope not. I'm gonna be hopefully battling for a win tonight. But there's a lot of good drivers here, so we'll see how the night goes. It's a lot of laps, so got to survive to be in the front.
All right. What kind of race you expecting tonight? A long green flag or a few cautions?
I think once the tires get warmed up, I think it will be some long green runs. But it depends on how we get going with cold tires and the night track. See if we can get out there and keep it from going too many cautions. But there's a good chance in the beginning, or once we do have a caution, having a second one after it.
All right. Well, I want to wish you good luck tonight. Remember, plenty of gas. It's not limited, in the pits, how much you can have in your pit. Just make sure you get it in the truck tonight.
10-4. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. Have a good one tonight, man, and I'll see you post-race, hopefully up here.
I hope so, too.
All right. Have a good one. Enjoy. That was Mr. Greg Spiker. I had to tease him because of last night. It was great. He did a phenomenal job leading the line, held it really good, was nice and straight and easy to push. I know he's looking for that again tonight, and hopefully he can get the right people behind him pushing him, and hope to see him get a victory this week. Greg is one that really deserves a win. He's always here, working hard to improve. Awesome guy. You hear that, Joanne Spiker? You raised a good son, and I got to give you a shout out. Tomorrow you're going to be 22 again, and I hope you have many more. And happy birthday, young lady. And tonight, the temperature right now is going to be 74 ambient, 77 track, clear skies, 6-mile-an-hour wind, and 79% humidity. That high humidity is going to make the track a little slipperier. So you might see them lifting off in the corners a little more than normal. But we'll see. Ought to be a good race tonight. We're 25 seconds from going gridding. Get you a few facts here on the track real quick for Atlanta. Historical facts. This place, the original configuration, was built in 1960, I want to say. 1998, Atlanta installed over 1,000 lights, just in time for the season finale that year. Rain delay pushed the race back into the evening, allowing Jeff Gordon to score his 3rd ever championship. And that was under the lights. They reconfigured this track in 2021 to make it what it is now, the super speedway style racing. And myself, I love the old surface, the old Atlanta, but the new one does have its moments. It usually puts on an exciting race all the time. Unlike the old Atlanta, the new Atlanta, as it's referred to, the super speedway configuration, does not eat the tires as much. The old Atlanta, you were lucky to get 20 laps before you needed tires. And you'd have to suffer till pits come. This Atlanta, you can get 100 laps out of a set, but you don't want to do that because tires still do matter here, just not as much as they used to. We are gridding right now, and let's take a look at our grid if it'll pop up. And it's not. So we'll have to do it this way. Your pole setter is John Hudson. Jared Epker is starting outside pole. Doug Helfer, who I believe had the pole in the practice race last night, is the inside row 2. Greg Spiker starting 4th. David the Collinator Collins 5th. Wade Palmer 6th. Renee Haas 7th. Ryan Hennings making his season debut tonight is starting 8th. Then you got Jason Hall in 9th. Edward Fiedler in 11th. It's showing Jason Hall 10th. Fiedler 11th. Kenneth Blackburn is 12th. Teresa Spiker 13th. Bobby Kyle 14th. And Brian Duncan is bringing up the rear tonight. Let's see if we can get on a car here real quick. They're doing their warm-up laps. Once the warm-up laps are done, they'll be going green and off racing. We got some very beautiful paints tonight. When I get a chance, I'll go through the field and show them to everyone. Right now, not going to do that because we're getting ready to go green. The lights are out on the pace truck. They're on the back stretch coming in 3 and 4. Let's watch Barney the flag man when they come out at 4 and get the okay to do the restart. He'll be waving that flag and we'll be underway. If you're watching and the audio's too low or too loud, you can't hear something,
Ready, green flag.
let me know. We got green, green, green. And that is one lap down here at Atlanta. We're on lap 2 of 100. Hudson still holding the lead, followed by Epker. They're going to swap it back and forth all night. Hasn't been any real position changes, except for the 2 up front that are battling for the lead. Everyone else has just either got to send it 3 wide or ride along. It looks like Helfer and Papa G are just going to help the front 2 get it sorted, and then they can work on the rest of the work on them. But right now you got John Hudson followed by Jared Epker. Well, Epker's on the outside, Hudson's on the inside. I will be surprised to see Hudson come off that bottom line. He may later in the race, but right now he won't. These cars are going to get about 33 to 35 laps on the fuel tank. They're running 65% fuel. I think they got 3 sets of tires over the wall and 1 fast repair. Car I want to take a look at, I believe, is the 70. No. No, it's the 74 I want to take a look at. Get a little zoomy zoom in on it. That is the number 74, Brian Hennings. He is running the Superior Performance paint scheme, Chevy Silverado. Superior Performance is based in Wendell, North Carolina. Owned by Kevin and Jen McCauley and Mulcahy. And I believe Brian's running that paint scheme in honor of Kevin tonight. Unfortunately, right now, Kevin's under the weather. We're wishing him a speedy recovery and hopefully get him back on track soon. We miss you, Kevin. And right now, we'll go. Oh, Greg's in the wall. Greg's in the wall. Dang it. Wade got into him, and it caused a wreck between Greg Spiker and Brian Hennings. That is sad. Sorry to see that. They were having a good race going. Get a little closer look at that here in a second. See exactly what happened. Looks like Greg just got a little loose, slid up in the wall, come back down. Wade got into him, not intentional, and spun Greg. Greg hit Brian, and the caution is out. We will be back right after these messages from our sponsors.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Okay, folks, we're back here at Friday Night Lights, presented by VRX, hosted by VRX, presented by Mama T and Papa G. Mama T Racing, Papa G Productions. I want to give a shout out to Rose Machette. I hope you're doing all right and watching, enjoying, and we're going green again.
Green flag.
Green's out, and we'll ride along. Jared Epker is taking the lead, followed by Doug Helfer, John Hudson on the outside, Dave Collins on the inside. Collins is a little slow there. I don't know what's going on, but he's dropped pace. There's been some movement in the field. Got Palmer leading the inside line and Hennings on the outside. Epker is your leader now. Hudson second. Bobby Kyle third. Brian Hennings fourth. Collinator sixth now. Helfer's fifth. They'll keep swapping positions. Oh, Bobby Kyle just got turned, it looked like. No caution. Let's take a quick look, see what happened to Bobby. Just coming out of the corner. Palmer's got a good run. Check up in front of Kyle. And that caused Kyle to check up and Palmer got into him. Nothing major there as far as cause of caution. It's just a racing deal. It's what I was saying about this track. You got to watch out for checkups in the corners, unlike Daytona and Talladega. Oh, and Bobby Kyle misses his pit. He's backing up down pit road and finally gets in his pit box. He's going to wind up using the fast repair and probably get back out there. In the meantime, let's go back to the lead. You got Brian Hennings leading on the outside, Jared Epker on the inside. Epker's got Hudson behind him, and Hennings has got Helfer. Then in row 3, you got Collins on the inside and Hasp on the outside. Look at Papa G coming back. He's climbed his way back to 7th after that earlier wreck. But I don't think he has his safety jacket fast repair left. I think he used it already. Alright folks, let's try to do this. A quick through the field. And we'll zoom in on the drivers. You got Epker leading still. Nice battle with him and Hennings, and with Hudson and Helfer right behind him. Nice paint job, Gen X VRX Mission 22 paint there. Then you got Brian Hennings showing in second in the Superior Performance Chevrolet, VRX Chevrolet. Third place, I'm showing John Hudson in Logitech Chevrolet. Good guy there. Go to johnhudsonart.com and order some paintings from him. He's really talented at painting. And now we will go to David Collinator Collins. You can see on his truck he's got Collinator in the Ford F-150 there. He is running third at the moment. Fourth, you got Renee Hasp in the Monster Energy VRX Ford. Hennings, we've already talked to, is fallen back to sixth. Fifth, we got Papa G, Greg Spiker in his VRX Mama T Butt Kicker Chevrolet. Seventh is Doug Helfer in the NVIDIA Alienware Chevrolet. Doug likes to buy body wash and smell good. And behind Helfer, we got Mama T. And what's Mama T racing tonight? She is racing a patriotic V-Speed VRX number 70 Chevrolet. Beautiful eagle on the hood. And then we got Mr. Edward Fiedler. Why am I not showing 66 for Ed? There it is. There's Mr. Edward Fiedler in the VRX Oza Toyota. I believe he's the only Toyota out here tonight. He's a very patient driver. Look for him to be there toward the end. Behind Edward, we got the number 46 of Jason Hall, who won last night's practice race. He's running what looks like a WWE-themed rock Chevrolet. So I guess you could say it's like a rock. And then in 11th, we got number 13, Brian Duncan, in an Air Force-themed VRX Chevrolet. Mr. Duncan, I would like to say hello to your son, Taylor, and your daughter, Skylar. I hope they're watching and enjoying and having a good time. No mention of food this week right now on him. So, but Zachary and Taylor, they'll be home sooner than he was last week. Shorter flight from Atlanta than it is from Vegas. In 12th place, we got the number 155 Liquid Death Chevrolet of Kenneth Blackburn. He plays mean sax, good old Kenny B. And then we got the 777 of Bobby Kyle, running in the, looks like a Tabasco-themed Ford, or is that a Ford or a Toyota? Tabasco-themed Toyota. And last place, we got number 43, Wade Palmer, who has left the race. All right, let's get back up front to Jared Epker. See how they're doing. Hennings has come back up to second place, challenging Epker. Hennings has Mama T pushed him, and Epker has Hudson. There was almost contact there between Hudson and Doc Hudson and the Collinator. And you got Greg Spiker fighting for fifth right now with David Collins. Nice recovery by Greg. Helfer's pushing it pretty good back there in seventh. Aspen 8th, and Edward Fiedler in 9th. Your top 10 is Jason Hall. These guys, they're giving it all they got. They're on lap 27 of 100. Some of them will have to pit on 33 to 35. Some of them, the ones that have been involved in the collision so far, they won't have to pit right then, but they would be better off pitting then, because you don't want to lose the draft at this track. And I'm pretty sure Greg put gas in it last time. Again, Kevin Mulcahy. We're missing your malarkey. Wish you were here. Looks like Epker and Hudson are able to pull away from Hennings a little on the outside. They got about a car length between them. But Mama T's giving Hennings one heck of a push here going into 1 and 2. Trying to get him to the lead. The top line will work here. But you need more cars in the top than the bottom. Oh, Hudson comes up a little, pushes Hennings up, breaks up the draft of Hennings and Mama T, and David Collins got into the wall a bit there. But we're clean and we are still green. We're not clean. We've had one caution so far. By the way, Bobby Kyle, it's 3 laps down now. So, right now, without cautions and lucky dogs, he needs some help. But if he was to get back on the lead lap, you'd have 13 cars here. Any of them could win. Hennings made a little bit of an aggressive move there down. He dropped down, caught some draft, and back up. Mama T's staying with Brian. Which is nice to see. I see there's 4 of you out there watching. Do you have any questions for me in the chat? Just post them. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe, share, and like. They're going to get crazy here in a while. Toward the end of the race, they'll get a little more racy, we'll say. We'll see how that goes. Give me a second. Sorry about this. I'm trying to figure some stuff out right now. We are still racing here. I don't know what happened to Jared Epker. It looks like it might just be green flag pit stop time. Yeah, green flag pit stop. But with Jared Epker pitting, that gives your lead over to the 70 of Mama T. With Brian Hennings. Oh, now Papa G makes a move for the lead. Passes Brian Hennings and Mama T. And Brian is going to push the heck out of Papa G. Unfortunately, you'll see pit stops coming up. I expect people like Collins and Mama T to pit, Doug Helfer. When they pit here in Atlanta, they have to enter the pit coming. They have to be on the apron, turn 3. And then they can, they have to stay below the line. And not cross the line They can go as fast as they want through the turn, but they also need to make sure they don't cross that line right there that you're seeing. Well, the line that you were seeing there on the inside of the apron. Otherwise, they'll get a penalty. But right now, let's go back and look at Papa G leading with Brian Hennings pushing him. They could probably stay out a little while longer than... Oh, caution's out. What happened? I'm showing that 38 may have an incident going here. And it looks like it collected Mama T. Let's rewind and see. It looks like Hasp was pitting. I don't know why Mama T checked up so much. And Mr. Doug just got in the back of her. And that's what happened. Collected a few cars, but some of them still got their fast repairs. If I was Greg Spiker and Brian Hennings, I would pit right now. Let's see if Greg pit. No, Greg stayed out. He should have pit. So he could have stayed on the same fuel strategy. This route, he's going to have to pit twice, where everyone else is going to have to pit once, I believe. And I think Jared Ebker got the lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. But you could probably say John Hudson's going to stay out, get a wave around. Well, no, he won't get a wave around because Greg didn't pit. We will be back shortly after this quick commercial break.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Okay, folks, it looks like we're doubling up again. Gonna go green. Under the caution there, Greg Spiker did pit. That's why he's not leading now. So he's gonna have an extra gallon of gas over everyone. I'll shut up and let you watch this restart from
Green.
Car Chase. Henning's got a huge lead on that restart, but that's not a good thing at this track because it is a draft-dependent track. So, but right now we got Greg Spiker back here in 10th coming out of the pits. That's disastrous for him. That's going to put him up. Oh no, he's entering pits. Probably got to drive through maybe a 40-second hold for entering a closed pit is what I'm going to guess. That's unfortunate for him. He'll need a caution to get caught back up, probably. Yeah, he got a 40-second hold. That's going to put him probably 2 laps down. But right now, let's go back up with our leader, Brian. Brian Duncan is leading? Alright. I don't believe this. I think there's something wrong with my timing and scoring. How the heck is Brian Duncan leading? Well, Taylor, I guess he shows you he can lead. He can race sometimes. He's not always in the back. And he doesn't. Yeah. I'm at a loss for words. Brian Duncan leading. But here comes John Hudson on the outside, pushed by Jared Ebker. On the inside, Duncan has Brian Hennings pushing him. You got 3 cars on the outside. You got Hudson, Ebker, and Helfer. Helfer does have some rear end damage. It is affecting the spoiler. The spoiler is a little bent there. So that's going to hurt his arrows. Probably make the truck a little looser than it should be. So he's got a handful right now. We are on lap 48 of 100. Or we just started lap 48. I still can't believe I'm saying this. Duncan is still leading. With Hudson on the outside pressuring for the lead. You got Hennings on the inside, Ebker on the outside, pushing the front row. Then you got lap cars mixed in with Renee Hasp and Jason Hall and Mama T. Ricky Bobby Kyle. David Collins is 3 laps down somehow. Probably pit under green and got caught there. Or got a penalty when he pit. Right now we got 7 cars still on the lead lap out of the 14 that started the race. And they're still going. Let's see where Collins is on the track. He's out by himself. He'll probably wind up going another lap down when the pack catches him. I don't know how close they are to him. And then you got Mr. Kenny Blackburn back here in 7th. He is the last car on the lead lap, almost a second back from the leader. He is roughly 0.3 of a second back from Edward Fiedler. So just barely holding on to that draft. And you got Fiedler in 6th. And Doug Helfer in 7th. Greg Spiker just goes another lap down. The pack caught him, so He just got out of the way and let him go. That was nice of him. Not required, but nice. Nice racing etiquette there. Meanwhile, Mama T is running 1 lap down in 10th. Looks like Hudson took the lead back. Let's go back to the lead. And let's do this. Go on board with Mr. Hennings. You can see he's got his hands full there behind Duncan. But Duncan's still up front. They are catching David Collins, I believe. So here in a second, they might be 3 wide. Oh. Looked like Duncan got loose and Hennings just went under him, which put Collins way out, or not Collins, Doc Hudson way out front. If Doc Hudson can catch Collins before Hennings gets back in the draft, Collins could use the lap car in front of him for draft and pull away. But they're spread out a little here right now. Hennings is catching back up. And you got Hasp, who is lapped down in the lucky dog spot in 8th behind Hennings. And you got Jason Hall, who is another driver who is lapped down, fighting Hasp for the lucky dog. You got Doug Helfer in 3rd, Fiedler 4th, Blackburn 5th. Brian Duncan, after that incident, has fallen all the way back to 6th, which is still really good for Duncan. He's a gentleman and a scholar, and he's improved a lot over the time that I've known him on the track. Hennings almost come down on the 46 there, but avoided it. Now it's Hennings and Hudson, Doc Hudson at the front. They got about a 0.4 of a second lead over 3rd place Helfer. But in between Helfer, you got 3 4-lap cars. You got the lap cars of Paul and Hasp and Mama T, which are all 1 lap down. And the Collinators, who is 4 laps down. So we'll see how this plays out. We are over halfway through the race. We are on lap 59 of 100, so 40 laps to go. These guys are going to have to make one more pit stop. Will it be under green or will it be under caution? Let's find out at the end. But right now you got Hudson leading with Hennings. They're all having a good old time out there no matter where they're running. This league, they run every Friday night. I believe next week it's Mid-Ohio road course. I think it's the only road course on the schedule. But this league has a variety of tracks. It has everything from road course to super speedway, short track, and your mile and mile-and-a-half tracks. So it's a really balanced schedule. I believe it's a 12-week schedule. I've posted the link for the Discord in the chat. Go ahead and join it if you'd like. And hi, Tim Berkey. I'm sure Greg and Teresa say hello. I hope you like what you're seeing. If you haven't, give a subscribe to the channel. They are out here every week on Friday nights doing this. I have other broadcast I do from time to time. And we'd love to have you here. We love having you at Benjamin Broadcasting. By the way, Greg is the one that come up with Greg and Teresa come up with the logo for Benjamin Broadcasting. Originally, there's been some editing to it, but lots of help getting on my feet to broadcast. Back to the racing, we got John Hudson leading, Brian Henning second, Doug Helfer third, Edward Fiedler is fourth, not far behind Helfer. In between, though, you got Greg Spiker, who is unfortunately 3 laps down. That's fourth. Fifth, you got Kenneth Blackburn. Sixth, holding 6th place is Brian Duncan, but he's fallen back a ways. He's lost the main pack. I don't know if there's enough time for them to pass him, put him a lap down. But remember, these guys got to stop, and that fuel window is open now. Anywhere from now to, I'd say within the next 5 laps, you'll see them all pitting. But go back up front here, you still got Hudson leading Hennings, and where's Epker running? Epker is 5 laps down somehow, but he's running in the 3rd position on the track, but 11th or 13th in the running order. Tonight we are going to have a new winner for the season, being Jared Philpott is not here. Jared Philpott is your current points leader. Jeff Hunter is not here. He's 2nd in points currently. And 3rd is Jared Epker. And Epker's having a bad night, but he's sticking with it, getting what points he can. I believe they have 1 drop week in the league. But we're going to have a new winner tonight. Some of these guys have gotten on the podium this season that's up front. And we'll see who we interview after the race. You got Mama T pushing Jason Hall on the outside. They're both a lap down. Hudson's got a 7/10 of a lead over 2nd of Brian Hennings, which means he's right on the bumper. But there's roughly 5/10. No, over a 2nd lead to Helfer, who's back in 3rd. You just see him there on the outside, right in front of Ed Fiedler, who is running 4th, which Ed's about a 10th off of Helfer right now. But up front, it's the same old running order. Hudson, Hennings, Helfer, Fiedler. I want to check something out on Mr. Jarrett Epker's car. See how it's going. Looks like Hudson's coming into the pits and Hennings stayed out. That's big if there's caution before Hennings pits. And you got Fiedler and Helfer that stayed out with, and well, the only one on the lead lap that pit was Doc Hudson. Get over. Right now you got Ricky Bobby Kyle in the pits. Hudson just come out. He had a very good pit stop. Hennings elected to go by the pits this time. Looks like Hudson had problems on pit exit. Go back and check that out. He may have had problems, he may not have. Looks good. Yeah, I got the notification just because he wasn't quite up to speed, but he's looking good there. Let's go back to the lead and see when Brian Hennings pits. Should be coming up any time now. You got Epker, who's laps down, and Jason Hall, who is a lap down up there. Greg Spiker, who's 3 laps down. Ricky Bobby Kyle's pitting again. And someone else just pulled off. I'm not sure who the other one that just pulled off and went in the pits is. But Epker got around Hennings. It was Jason Hall that pit. Hennings is just hoping for a caution, along with Helfer. Oh, looks like Hennings is going to come in to pit. Yep, Hennings is entering the pits, so let's go to 64. Helfer's pitting. Fiedler's going to stay out, lead a lap. He's in the catbird seat now if there's caution. Duncan is in 5th at the moment, 20-some seconds. Losing a lot of time. Go see what's up with Duncan. He's pitting. So, as you can see, their pit stop times are on the right side of the screen right now of who's pit, who hasn't. But in the meantime, let's check Edward Fiedler. He's decided to pit. This should put John Hudson back on the lead lap as the leader, maybe. And then you got now Duncan will be the leader for the moment till Hudson gets to him. I don't know. Hennings might be the leader. We'll let the pit cycle fall through and then we'll decide. How's that sound? Alright, at the moment it is showing Brian Hennings as the leader. John Hudson 2 seconds back. Then 3 seconds behind Hudson is Fiedler. Losing time. Helfer's in 4th, losing time to Fiedler. No one around these guys, so... Well, Hudson's going to get some drafting help here from Mama T, who is a lap down, and he's got Jason Hall in front of him, who's also a lap down. Just moves out of the way. That brings Hudson back into the battle with Hennings. They're good to the end on fuel. Oh, what happened there? We now have a caution. Let's figure out what happened here. They catch up to Hennings. Hudson went to take the inside. got into the back of Hennings. Great save by Hennings. Mama T got loose checking up because of it and spun out, and that's what brought out the caution. We got 19 or 20 to go here, folks. We'll be back after these commercials.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff. The motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Okay, folks, we are back for the VRX race, and we're going green here. It looks like John Doc Hudson may have gotten a speeding penalty or unsafe pit entrance. But on the restart, we got Brian Hennings jumping out to a lead over Edward Fiedler, who was leading. Doug Helfer is in third. John Doc Hudson's fourth. Jason Hall is fifth. Renee Haas got back on the lead lap. So did Kenneth Blackburn. Mama T's in eighth, a lap down. Greg Spiker's now one lap down. So if he can get by Mama T and catch a quick caution, he'll be back on the lead lap and in good shape. Oh no, Collins into the wall. Epker checks up not to hit him. That gives John Hudson a run on the inside. You got Greg on the outside, Mama T on the inside. Edward Fiedler's leading with Doug Helfer in second. Brian Hennings just took second back with the help of David Collins. It's going to be a barn burner here at the end, folks, I have a feeling. You got Greg Spiker now up next to Mama T fighting for that lucky dog spot. If it comes out, who will get it? We know one of them's going to wind up in the wall, though. I don't know which one, though. Whenever they're next to each other, there's fireworks, a special kind of fireworks, too. Everyone should be good on fuel here. Hennings is back in the lead. Check out the rear chase for an angle here. Ooh, Collins comes down and almost gets into Hennings. Let's go back to a better view. Collins is actually helping Hennings here by being in front of him at the moment. It gives Hennings someone to draft with. But you got Fiedler in second. He's third car, inside row. They're 3 wide, about to go through the dog leg, and a little bit of contact, but they make it. Mama T almost got into Greg there. She checked up and backed off and let him live for another day. Or another lap in this case. But Hennings has pushed himself out to a 0.2 of a second lead over Ed Fiedler. He's using David Collins to draft. Push him so they can go faster. But Fiedler's hanging in there. What Hennings is hoping for is Fiedler, or for Collins just to hold that yellow line, or the red and white line on the inside, and he can push him better there. And what's the quickest way around the track? The shortest way. But right now you got Hennings in the lead, Fiedler second, Helfer third, and Hasp in fourth. Let's go check on Hasp, see about where he's at. He's got Mama T in front of him, who is a lap down, and she's a lucky dog. What happened to Greg Spiker? Where is he? Why is he not up there? I don't know, but looks like he's pretty much lost the draft. Duncan is still back out on the track, but he's 2 laps down now. But he did lead some laps tonight, which is awesome to see. Unusual to see, but awesome. Love it when the little guys get a good race. But you got Greg Spiker pushing by him right now, pulling up to Kenneth Blackburn. Looks like Greg's ready to make a move again for that lucky dog spot. We got 8 to go. 9 to go, I'm sorry. And they're racing, boys and girls. You got Jason Hall and Renee Hasp racing hard for 5th. You got John Hudson racing hard for 3rd. Now throw Renee Hasp in that mix. Hennings is still your leader by 1/10 of a second. 8 to go. Hudson got a little tight there and shoved out toward the wall, maybe out of line. Maybe a bad side draft. But now you got Greg Spiker hooking up with Hudson. Greg's running a really good line. He dives to the inside. Hopefully thinking he'll get by Mama T, and once he does, you know he's going to want a caution. But hopefully there's no more cautions. I would like to see Greg back on the lead lap. I'd like to see Mama T back on the lead lap, but with 7 to go, I don't think it's going to happen. Helfer is still running in 3rd. Looks like he may have got the damage fixed on his truck. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Jared Epker is now 9 laps down and out of the session. So there's 12 car, 11 cars still running, 12 cars still running. Bobby Kyle's still out on track. Up front, you still got Brian Hennings leading over Ed Fiedler. And then Doug Helfer's up there in 3rd, where he's been pretty much all night. I told you about Ed Fiedler. Watch out for him. He's a very patient driver. He'll be there at the end. Here we are, 5, about to be 4 laps to go. And he's fighting for 2nd and 3rd. 2nd place right now. You got the 3 car of Doc John Hudson in 3rd place. Trying to get a run on Fiedler. Not quite going to get it. No help there for Hudson. And he's in 3rd. Then you got Doug Helfer in 4th, which is going to pull up to the bumper back of Fiedler and give him a little arrow push. Help keep him in 3rd. And you got Hudson and Helfer battling back and forth right here. That's a very good battle, so let's watch it for a few minutes. Right now, though, you still got Brian Hennings leading. Fiedler is 0.2 of a second back, followed by Helfer and then Jason Hall, who these cars are all about a tenth back from each other. John Hudson. Oh no! Big wreck! And it involved both of your lucky dog candidates, Greg and Mama T. That will probably end Greg's night. Let's see what happened. Jump on the 10 car. See what happens. It was in the tri-oval. Looked like Hudson come down, got in the back of Greg a little. And then Greg shot back up, got into Hudson. Mama T had no room to go, got into it along with Kenneth Blackburn. And that'll probably end Greg Spiker's night. I'm not sure about John Hudson. I know he's got a lot of damage. See if I can get that pulled up. But in the meantime, let's go to your leader, Brian Hennings. This is going to be a green-white checker. And if I'm not mistaken, Brian Duncan might get a lap back. David Collins will get a lap back the hard way by being in front of Hennings at the time of the caution. So if I'm correct, that should put Duncan and Collins 1 lap down now. Mama T has fallen to 2 laps down. Greg Spiker's in the pit still. Long pit stop. Like I said, his night's probably done. Yeah, John Hudson's probably done. He's been in the pits for almost 2 minutes. He's going to be laps down. Same with the 155 of Kenneth Blackburn and 10 of Greg Spiker. They're all probably done for the night. They may make it back on the track, but I don't see them contending for positions. But that throws a wrench in the top 5 that are on the lead lap of Hennings, Fiedler, Helfer, Hall, Hasp, and Hasp. It's anybody's race here. It's a green-white checker. It all depends on who gets help and from who and where. This is going to be the first green-white checker of 2 that I believe they have. I know they have they should be good on fuel even for the second green-white checker. Gonna be close, but not sure. But Brian Duncan's going to get a top 10 out of this. That's awesome. But up here at the front, it is still Hennings and Fiedler, Helfer, Hall, and Hasp. So pretty much if your last name starts with an H, you're in the top 5. The only oddball is Mr. Ed Fiedler. But watch out for him on this restart. I think he's going to get a good push and possibly pull off the win. I am not going to take the focus off the lead battle now, being we're under green-white checker. Hennings got a huge start. Helfer got a great start. So did Hasp. Fiedler did not get a good start. And in turn has fallen back to 5th and way back through the field. We got 2 to go. Hennings is way out front. Oh no, Hasp got into...
Caution.
There it goes.
Tell me what you got quickly.
Hasp and Helfer. That's a shame. Well, let's get a message from our one of our sponsors real quick. James Wagner Welding out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Okay, folks, we're back. We are on our second green-white checker. I will not take the camera off the battle for the lead unless Hennings gets out to a huge lead. Then I'll go to the closest to see who settles it. Coming up after the race, there will be a commercial break from our sponsors of VRX, Butt Kicker, and Thrustmaster. And then I'll be back with the post-race after that commercial break. But right now we should be getting ready to double up. If I'm not mistaken, we should double up and go green the next time by. Whose night is it? Is it Hennings, Hasp, or Hall? Don't forget about Fiedler. He's in there too. That is your lead lap cars. David Collins is in 5th. 2 laps down, Duncan 6th, Blackburn 7th. Elfer went from fighting for the lead to 2 laps down. Let's see what's going to happen, folks. Let's hope for an exciting 3-wide finish for the lead. For the win. That's all we can hope for. You got 4 cars up here battling for the win. One of them will not get the podium. The other 3 will. Who will it be? Who is your favorite? Who do you think's going to pull it out? As the broadcaster, I cannot be biased, but I think it's going to be one of the VRX cars. Got 3 VRX cars there in the top 4. And Jason Hall, he just needs to get the VRX paint scheme, and then he'll be good. Because he is a VRX driver too, my opinion. Right? Green flag's out. Hennings got a big jump. Hall got a good start. Hasp, not such a good start. Fiedler's inside in 4th. Following behind Hasp and Hall. They're pretty close together. Hall should get a huge run here with Hasp pushing. And we'll see. We are coming to the white flag, folks, and it's a wild one here. All 4 of the top 4 have gotten close together. Hall is pushing the heck out of Hennings. You got Fiedler behind Hasp still, who has fallen back a little in the 3rd place. Hasp has. You got Duncan forcing it through there. Oh no! Oh no! Hall touched Hennings. Hennings wrecks. Oh no! Almost saved it. What's going to happen here? Wow, what a crazy finish there. Hall bumped Hennings, not intentionally, and they wrecked. Yeah, they did. See if I can pull up a... I know Hennings probably is not happy, but he'll live with it. So Hennings gets 4th. And your interviews tonight after the commercial breaks will be Renee Hasp, Ed Fiedler, and Jason Hall. We'll be back in a few minutes, folks.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Welcome back here tonight, folks. We're at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. We just wrapped up the Hotlanta race from the Friday Night Lights series, sponsored by VRX and Mama T Racing and Papa G Promotions. Our finishing order tonight was Jason Hall, Edward Fiedler, and Renee Hasp in the top three. An exciting finish there at the end. Unfortunately, some trucks are going to need some repair. Brian Hennings comes in fourth. He was your leader going into turn three. Kenneth Blackburn, or Brian Duncan got a top five. Wow. For that, Tyler and Zachary, you should make him go buy you something. Something expensive. And then you got Kenneth Blackburn in sixth. The Collinator David Collins in seventh. Dougie Fresh Helfer in eighth. Ninth was Mama T Spiker. One of the rare times she beats Greg Spiker in a league race lately. And then you got Ricky Bobby Kyle in 10th. 11th was John Doc Hudson. Followed by Greg Spiker, Papa G in 12th. Jared Epker in 11th. Wade Palmer, Jared Epker was 13th. Wade Palmer was 14th. With that being said, folks, let's get ready for our post-race interviews. And first, we will bring up your third place finisher of Renee Hasp. Mr. Renee Hasp, this has been in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Ben. How's it going, buddy?
Great, great. Y'all put on a good race tonight. A lot of racing action. You got, what, 1 or 2 laps down tonight and come back to a third place finish. Great job. How did you do that?
I gotta say, I'm not proud of my performance today. I want to apologize to Doug. I got into it with him. I want to apologize to Wade. I was looking down under a yellow, reared, slammed right into him. Just not having a good day. I don't know if I should share this with your audience, but my partner and I broke up. Me and Nitro he dumped me, and this is what happens. He had a toothache. He went to the doctor's office. He fell in love with the doctor, and I'm really disappointed in my performance, and I apologize to the guys because I took it out on them, and I shouldn't have.
All right. What a crazy finish, though, at the end. How did you avoid the trouble?
Yeah, so I wish Doug was in front of me. I totally wish that last wreck didn't happen, the one before the green-white checker, because I was in a good position. I was in fourth. I had the bottom line, but after that, that wreck happened, and unfortunately, it was just crazy racing. Jason, Jason's been pretty aggressive tonight. So I knew that he has the talent to get up there, and I saw what was happening in front of me. I backed off a little, and I let it play out. Jason hit Brian a little too hard. Want to shout out Brian Hennings Racing, but yeah, he hit him too hard. Brian started fishtailing, a little bit of twerking in the car. I don't know if you caught that. And I just, I stayed back a little bit, and then pedal to the metal when I saw cars and car parts flying. God, I'm so upset that I got dumped. You don't understand.
Right, so no more interior paint guy?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
That's done.
All right. Well, as always, with a podium finish, you get to give some shout outs, thanks, whatever you want. The track is
Absolutely.
yours.
Thank you so much, everyone. I want to say a big shout out to my ex, Nitro. I still love you. I hope we can when you're done with the dentist and letting him shove stuff in your mouth, that I could come back and be with you and hug you and caress you like we used to do. I want to say thank you to again Brian Hennings Racing. That was my school. Learned everything from the master himself. Mama T Racing, love you. Greg, thank you for putting on this race. Amazing opportunity. Benji, thank you for the broadcasts, and everyone at VRX. I love you guys, and hopefully we get to the second or first place soon. Anyway, that's it. Love you guys, and thank you to Ford and Ford Performance and Haley Deegan Racing and Monster, my sponsor. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for showing up tonight. We hope to see you Tuesday night for Nashville in the Gen 6. And then
Yeah, I'll be there. Yep.
next Friday night, I believe, is Mid-Ohio Motorsports Park. Hope to see you there.
Can't wait. Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day. Good night, everyone. Love you guys.
You're welcome.
Keep it tight.
Again, congratulations on the top 3. All right. Tonight, I believe, is my first interview with this driver this season. Mr. Edward Fiedler, do you have a copy?
Gotcha. Loud and clear, Benji.
Well, first of all, congratulations on second. You ran in the top 5 pretty much all night. What was your strategy tonight?
Well, my strategy early on that first caution was just to drop back, stay out of trouble, say make up them spots one by one, and primarily I wanted to make sure I nailed those pit stops. I was expecting some green flag stops, and I noticed there's a couple drivers they're having little troubles getting on the pit road a little slow. I didn't want to risk a wreck. I didn't want to risk getting a black flag for passing them, so I had to stay out an extra lap. But in the end, it all worked out for me.
All right. I think your truck was the only truck tonight that all you got to do is take it back to the race shop and give it a good wash and wax. Did you even have a scratch on that tonight?
Well, there was, one place where I got in, somebody got into me, and I did have to come in and use that fast repair. But yeah, at the end, well, other than that last lap crash, yeah, she was spick and span at the end.
All right. I know you're very active in VRX with racing with them and racing in the leagues. How much do you enjoy that?
I say, man, with races like this is a blast, man. You say, couldn't ask for a better run tonight with all these drivers here. Everybody did a great job tonight.
All right. Well, with that being said, you get to give shout outs and thanks to whoever you want. The mic is yours.
Okay, well, first and foremost, we got to thank Robert there, owner of VRX. We wouldn't be here without him. And I want to thank Mama T and Papa G for putting on this race. So, well, and that's about all I can think of. Well, actually, like I said, and once again, great job to all my fellow drivers out there. Looking forward to next week.
All right. Thank you. I know we'll see you Tuesday night at Nashville Super Speedway in the Gen 6. How about Mid-Ohio next Friday? Road course.
So that one can be pretty tricky there. So I do like road courses, though. I think that'll be a fun one.
All right. Just run the track. Don't worry about the other cars at that race, man.
Yep, priority one, any race on any track is you got to finish.
Correct. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight. Great job on second place. I look forward to seeing you again in the future on the podium, and hope you go back and watch this race tonight.
Okay, I'll do that, and also thank you very much for broadcasting this race tonight, Benji. Great job.
Thank you. All right, have a good one, and we'll see you next week. That was your second place finisher, Edward Fiedler. Now let's bring up Jason Hall, your race winner. Mr. Hall, this has been in the booth. Do you got a copy?
I do.
All right. Race was pretty calm tonight for the most part. There was a few incidents. But you were at one point 2 laps down, I believe, and you come back to win. How the heck did you do that?
A lot of patience. I didn't push the issue. I didn't race people I didn't need to race, and just a lot of patience.
All right. Now, congratulations on the win, first of all. There's, but going into turn 3 on the last lap of the second green-white checker, I know it wasn't intentional, but what happened with you and Brian Hennings?
Well, first and foremost, it was definitely not intentional. But I knew Brian was fast, and Renee was right there with us, and I had to stay on him and keep him watching his rearview mirror more than he was watching out the front. And he started to wiggle, and I backed up, and he went to catch it, slid up the track, and at that point I was chasing mine, and then I was mirror driving watching Renee, and slid up into the side of him.
All right. Well, again, congratulations. With your first win in a league VRX league race, not a hosted race, which you won here last night, and you backed it up again tonight. Congratulations on your first win. With that being said, you get to thank anyone you want, give your shout outs. The mic is yours.
Well, I definitely want to thank VRX. They've been a great racing community. Teresa and Greg have been a lot of help. Definitely want to give a shout out to my wife, who allows me to do this full time, and all my sponsors.
All right. Well, again, thank you for participating tonight. Will we see you Tuesday night at Nashville Super Speedway in Gen 6?
If I'm available, I may make an appearance on Tuesday. Fridays are going to be mostly the night where I run trucks.
Okay, next Friday, I believe we're at Mid-Ohio. How do you feel about going into that track?
I enjoy that track. It'll be one of my tougher tracks. I will definitely get some practice in this week, some track time. And then we'll just have to play the patient game and see how we do.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on the win tonight. And thank you for participating. And we'll see you next week. Good job tonight, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. That was your top 3 finishers. I know I've interviewed Renee before. I believe I've interviewed Edward in the Friday night USA Super Speedway or USA Speedway Track Championship Series. So it's nice to see a new winner and new people up at the top. Tough break for Mr. Hennings. I feel bad for him. As you heard, Mr. Hall feels bad about it. I want to give some shout outs here tonight. Joanne Spiker, happy birthday, young lady. Hope you have many more. And tell Greg to make sure he's got gas next time. Rose Machette, Nana, thank you for all you do for Mama T and Greg. You're much appreciated too, young lady. Taylor and Skylar, Make sure your dad goes and buys you something expensive with his winnings tonight from 5th place. His career best high that I know of. And a very personal one here. Mr. Kevin Mulcahy. You are in our hearts, our thoughts, and our prayers. We hope for you to get home soon. And we miss you, buddy. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. And with that being said, thank you everyone for watching. And may you have a better tomorrow.